So let's jump right into this NBA news. So there has been a few noticeable signings as of yesterday and today. So just a few minutes ago, Mitchell Robinson signed a 3-year, $47 million deal with the Boston Celtics. I believe this is a huge move because it definitely get him a big man. It would not be surprising if they try to pair a certain power forward up with him probably later this week, early next week. At the earliest or latest. I'll get into that in a minute, but this is a pretty good move. He got paid a little money, which is good because he was definitely looking to get paid. So it was already rumored for him to leave New York, but you can't be mad at Mitchell Robinson. He got himself a championship with New York, and then right after that got paid some money, so it's not bad. And then he still could compete with Boston, so this is a good move. Norman Powell went to the Chicago Bulls, so he left Miami. And Nikola Vucevic just went back to Orlando, but one of the Wagner boys went to Brooklyn. So those are some noticeable moves. The Lakers just traded for Walker Kessler. Some people feel like they panicked. Wait, he was signed a massive 4-year deal, 130 mil. Yeah, that is a lot. Because I think for him to get that much money, it might be a little too soon. I would wait to see what else he would develop into because I don't think he averaged crazy points with Utah. I think it was like 15 points or something like that. Let me see. There's Walker. Okay. Yeah, 14 and 10. I don't know. Well, I think he'll be good fit for the Lakers though with Luka, but he'll basically be getting paid what 30 mil a season. I think it's a bit too much, but at least they got their center. At least they got their center. All right. So, with that being said, LeBron James did notify the Los Angeles Lakers as of yesterday that he is not returning back to the franchise. They're saying that LeBron might take a minimum, but for a team that he can only compete. They're saying like Cavs, Warriors, and Heat are the main front runners at this point, which we all believed anyway. But one thing to know, Washington also said, I think as of last night, that they're not trading Anthony Davis at all. So that whole fantasy with all of them ending up in Golden State, AD, LeBron, with Draymond and Curry and Porzingis, because he just signed there, that's not happening because the Wizards don't want to trade him. So it looked like the door is kind of shut on that, to be honest. I don't know if they eventually going to trade AD because it's been rumored that he do not want to be there, but it seems like Washington don't care. So I don't know. That's something to monitor between now and probably next summer. I don't know how long they want to hold on to AD, someone that signed the clutch sport and they don't want to be there. Because if they don't want to be there, they're definitely going to show that they don't want to be there. So I don't know. Hopefully they figure that out because I'm not understanding why you want to hold on to someone that don't want to be with your franchise and you're trying to build something new. Now, there's a lot of things that's really pointing at LeBron James coming back to Cleveland. There was some reports earlier today that him and Dan Gilbert met and talked for a couple hours at his residence in Akron, Ohio. So go to my profile. Yeah, like that's what he's saying. Wow, he got paid. Walker got paid. Somebody said he panicked, but I don't know. They said he panicked. Now, as of a few minutes ago as well, the Boston Celtics have started strongly shopping Jaylen Brown and have discussed offers with 8 to 10 teams over the last several days. He can be moved. I think he's going to be moved this week, but I don't think it's going to happen today. I believe it's going to happen later this week, next week. Brian Windhorst did hint that the Cavs might be trying to trade for Jaylen Brown to pair him with LeBron James, because the Cavs do want LeBron back for a second stint, well, third time. And there's definitely interest between the two parties. So, but they're reporting that LeBron wants to play with two scoring superstars. So it seems like he wants to take more of a bit of a backseat, be the third option, be more passive, and just pass it to the scorers. So this is why the Cavs potentially could be looking into Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown averaged 28 points, 5 and 6 last season. He played extremely well last season. He showed everybody that he is that guy. And he can be a first option and an elite scorer. So with that being said, that's what Brian's hinting at, because he sounded a bit frustrated just, hearing the different rumors about who the Cavs were trying to trade for. Let me see. Type of Cavs. Yeah, he said this is easily the most boom or bust scenario for the Cavs team has had in years. It is boom or bust. It is. You got to make that splash, make that move, or you're not going to win a championship.
Brown. And again, you're going to probably subtract Mobley or someone. Chris, your 5 would be. While LeBron coming back alone is pretty big, if you add Jaylen Brown, and again, you're going to probably subtract Mobley or someone. Chris, your 5 would be Harden, Donovan Mitchell, LeBron James, Jaylen Brown, and Jared Allen. Could you run with that?
Hell yeah, you could run with that.
Could you run with that?
Yeah, you can run with that.
What would your expectations be with that starting 5?
NBA championship.
Really?
Absolutely.
Well, LeBron coming back.
They said the fan sources are back.
That LeBron was here the last 7 to 10 days, and I'm not bringing up Oakley's name no more. I'm just going to say my sources have told me that Dan Gilbert and LeBron have met privately in a home for over 2 hours in the last 7 to 10 days. So you can believe that or not believe it. That's the truth. And
Hold on, Corbo. Whose house?
No, I'm not giving no name.
All right. I don't want to get you in trouble. All right. Hold on. But I want to make sure I know what you're saying here. Hang on. What you're saying is that LeBron, you're not reporting anything other than LeBron and Dan Gilbert met for 2 hours in private this week. Correct?
Yes, they did.
Because,
okay, well, I'm telling you, it's up to 98%. He will be a Cavalier.
Wow. Corbo, I love you.
Wow. So LeBron and Dan Gilbert over the last 7-10 days have met at a private residence for over 2 hours. You don't sit down with nobody for 2 hours unless you're plotting to come back and probably making tweaks to the roster, because LeBron and his people, they're GMs for real. They more than just player and agents. They know how to build. I will give them that. So there's that. LeBron is definitely coming back to Cleveland. If he don't end up coming back, man, shame on me for even saying it. But that's pretty much a sealed deal, just not more of a formal public announcement. So now we're waiting to see what else they do to the roster. Because Brian Windhorst said that they are definitely actively trying to make trades right now. They're definitely looking to get rid of Dennis Schroeder and Max Strus in their contract. As of yesterday, Dean Wade is gone. Thank you. I needed him to go. And who else left? It was one more person off our roster that ended up signing somewhere else. So there's 2 people gone, clearing cap. So now we're just waiting on the Max Strus and Dennis Schroeder trade. And then possibly Jaylen Brown, Evan Mobley swap. No. This is what Wendy was saying.
Okay. What if it was not Big Perk? Okay. What if I edited this? Okay. What if it was not Big Perk's list and it was my list? What if Jaylen Brown wasn't to the Rockets? Okay. What if Jaylen Brown was to the Cavs? Oh, spicy. Don't threaten me with a good time. Good time. You know what? James came with him. See, hey, listen. Listen. Let me tell you something. You get.
So I've always said that James Harden most likely was going to take a pay cut to get him flexibility to sign more people to create a better roster to win. But I always felt it was mostly because of LeBron coming back and they knew he was. So I'm not opposed to thinking that he would not take a backseat and also come off the bench. Because James Harden, I don't know if James Harden, Jaylen Brown, Donovan Mitchell, and LeBron's going to work in a lineup. Now, they could, because LeBron he's not really focused on scoring as much anymore unless he have to. It seems like he's focused on being a third option and being a bit more passive. So it's a reason that he's going out there and telling that he wants 2 star players that score on the next team that he go to, because he's not looking to be that main person scoring anymore. And you can't blame him. He's 41 years old. He's turning 42 this year. He's getting ready to retire soon. So we can't hold that against him if he's not trying to score anymore. So with that being said, there's a strong chance that James Harden do stay in that starting lineup. And it's a chance that he goes to the bench strictly and try to be that 6-man role again like he was with OKC. Or he could start and then about 4 or 5 minutes in, go to the bench, and then eventually come back in with the second unit and then help lead the second unit. So I believe those are going to be his 2 options, because you don't know how it will exactly fit, even though LeBron's going to be mostly passive. But at the same time, Harden now is a passer as well. Now, he may dribble too much at times, but he averaged 8 assists last season. So he is looking to pass more as well, because he's about to be 37 as well. He don't want to be the main scorer anymore, and you can't blame him. So it could definitely work. I feel like with that we'll have options. So I'm all for it. So we will see what happens with that. And then there's 8 to 10 teams that they are listening to Boston as far as the Jaylen Brown trade. So we will see. We will see about that. And Kawhi Leonard went back to Toronto Raptors, so they are very excited about Kawhi going to Toronto Raptors. Now, this here is something you can't sleep on. This is another reason why I believe Evan Mobley is going to get traded. Even though he can block shots, Jared Allen and Evan Mobley down low is fragile. We've seen this all throughout the playoffs for the last couple of seasons. And us as Cavs fans, we don't care for it. I don't think anybody would. They're very up and down as far as scoring wise and rebounding as well. They play very fragile down there, down low. So you have Toronto that brings in Kawhi Leonard and Brandon Ingram swap. So it's RJ Barrett, Scotty Barnes, and Kawhi Leonard. And on top of that, who else do they have on their roster? They have Grady Dick. Hold on, I think they traded Grady, if I'm not mistaken. Because I like their roster. They do have Quickly. They have Sheed. Sheed is okay. He could be a little bit better. They have a decent center as well. They might get another 1 or 2 players to help join, but I like their lineup. So to subtract Brandon Ingram and add Kawhi Leonard. That helps a lot. So in LeBron's case, if he's coming back to Cleveland, I do believe he wants to secure another scoring option because he don't want to be the guy battling with Kawhi anymore. And, he'd rather to be passive, do what he can and need to do and not have to be that guy to go out there and average 30 points into the playoffs or even 30 points in a regular season. He don't want to do anything like that. So that makes sense for us to go out and go get someone like Jaylen Brown. So we will definitely see what happens as the course of the day continues to go on. So that is where we're at right now. LeBron James told Lakers as of yesterday he's not coming back. Kawhi Leonard traded to Toronto Raptors and a few decent pickups in free agency for other teams. I do feel that free agency again is moving kind of slow to start off as of yesterday because so much went down for the past week. So, but the next move is really LeBron and Jaylen Brown. Those are going to be the next moves to be made, and we'll see what else happens after that. I'll also stand by on KD watch. I don't know if he's staying with Houston. It looked like he might be staying because they picked up a couple good free agents that will help. So KD might stay there. Okay, they picked up. See, I like him. I liked him when he was playing with the Clippers. But who was he? He was playing with somebody else before then that I really, really liked him as a player. Who else did Houston Rockets pick up? They picked up Marcus Smart. So KD might stay with Houston. I expect him to stay now. They're putting some more guys around him. So that'll be good for him to stay. This is why I believe LeBron's getting out of this Western Conference. This Western Conference is just too stacked. It has always been like this. So you got Phoenix Suns that made some great moves. They have a real good team on paper. You have Houston. You have Denver that you cannot count out. San Antonio, OKC, Minnesota Timberwolves. There's no way LeBron's going to his Western Conference to no Golden State Warriors. Even if he did have AD, he's not doing that. Like that conference is stacked. He's definitely trying to get out of there. And it's going to be with Cleveland. That's his best chances. So we will definitely be on more free agent watch. But I like where it's going. This was a very fun. Hold on. LeBron James is in talks to document the entire upcoming season through a documentary and episodic series. Yeah, this probably seals the deal. He's coming back to Cleveland. Yeah, you ain't doing that in Golden State. You ain't doing that in Golden State. Yeah, we knew it was coming. That's why I said it's going to be hype, money, entertainment. Him coming back to Cleveland, especially with a certain particular team to win the championship farewell tour. Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. Hold on 1 second. Definitely excited. Exciting times for Cavs fans, Cleveland fans, Ohio, and just NBA and period in basketball and sports. See LeBron back in Cleveland, farewell tour. Yeah, this is going to be dope. This is going to be dope. But we'll stay on watch. I'll definitely be going live later on. See what else happens.